Hello there again. I was getting ready to put the computer up and felt that I had to get this recorded because I had these thoughts as pertaining to the last video about the merging and the survival and continuance of what we know as life and existence. The human being, species, our world, our experiences, what have you. The past few days, is it the Media Intelligence Agency or whatever? I'm trying to think. It's Tyler Gabriel, Tyler first name, Gabriel last name, and Douglas Gabriel. Okay, they run that site and they call themselves Betsy and Thomas as their screen name kind of things. But anyway, Douglas put out 4 or 5 videos on the history of banking and how, and it's absolutely true. Basically it boils down to a lot of these filthy banksters, okay, filthy thinking banksters, and filthy, I mean, it's greed, and which is an insatiable drive to deprive others while yourself gains material stuff, money, property, what have you, control over people, and basically that comes from it's mammon. Okay, it's mammon, and it's one of the 7 deadly sins. It's greed. Well, these people worship mammon. Okay, they worship, it's Satanism. It's the devil. They believe in a materialist world, even though they believe in the devil. Because we're all capable of doing what we would consider evil things, but their faith, their belief system or whatever, is based on materialism, as in there's no afterlife. Okay, they just work with the spirits that are have all this influence, and they gain favor, so they believe in more stuff that creates more suffering, scarcity, sickness, what have you, within our human species. Okay, this is mammon, and I'm going to call it mammonism. Okay, and that is the core of the problems that so many of us face today. And I'm going to say this as well. It has been so pervasive within cultures and society, this mammonism, that people are conditioned, as they are raised, as they grow from infants into adults, throughout their whole lives. It's not presented as, greed or whatever. It's actually, actually in most society, culture, whatever, that kind of stuff is frowned upon, on the face, on the outside, but actually it's almost projected surreptitiously, which is secretively or occultly, if you want to call it that, to the public, to the mentality of the public. And such machinations are designed and created to ensure that this type of system continues. Okay? This is the core, at least if not the core, one of the core influences of what goes on for the situation that the human species has now finds itself in. Now, and I say this is ordinary people that think that could be the most humblest person that goes to church and whatever and works, has worked hard all their life and paid the taxes that they were told that had to be paid, and the scarcity that goes on in the world. Look at the gas prices. Hundreds of years, well, at least a century of business being done in the petroleum industry, but yet, and that's one thing. Why are we so dependent on this petroleum stuff? Okay, but yet summertime in America, they know people are going to be traveling more, so they raise the prices up. And people say, oh, well, it's only a few pennies here, penny. Yeah, but look at how much petroleum, how much gas or diesel, whatever that they are selling. Okay, and those few little pennies add up to a lot of money. So again, this is worshiping strictly materialism, trying to eliminate any kind of spirituality, any kind of morality, consciousness, higher awareness that the human species is more than capable of, to be able to advance the species, to be able to sustain the environment and the species. Okay, and what I was going to say is they could be the most whatever person, moral person or whatever, but yet from these machinations that have been designed and put into place for societies and cultures to follow, it has surreptitiously been used to put more of a materialist type mentality into the people, into the human being. Humans are very easily corrupted, and it's usually because we like to imitate, and we get jealous very easily, which is one of the sins, 7 deadly sins. But we'll go back to mammonism, okay? Mammon, okay, and the sacrifice that mammon supposedly required. Did Mammon come out and say, hey, you need to do this? Or was it an influence that somebody, an experience that somebody had that was already maybe powerful or persuasive enough that they could persuade other people that said, oh yeah, this is what you need to do if you want more riches and more comfort and more this and more that, which was a very selfish way to do it because they were only considering themselves. It doesn't take much to help someone in need, okay? And a lot of times when someone helps another person, there are an awful lot of people that feel that they are owed or they are due something from this other person that they helped, or somehow they are reimbursed for even a consideration of helping, even a consideration. They're charging for even the consideration of helping someone, and this is materialism. Take all the spirituality out of it. They don't want any spirituality unless it's to further their agenda of mammonism. Okay, further their agenda of worshiping greed. And it's one of the worst of the seven sins, because greed is insatiable. Envy. They're like this. Because if you envy something, you want something so bad, and even though you get whatever it is you want, well, it doesn't stop there, because then you want something else. You want more. If you already have the amount that you want, then you want more. It's insatiable. And this has taken over our planet. This is taking over our species. And this is what I have gotten back to when I was speaking of artificial intelligence and the money meme. The artificially intelligent money meme. It's mammonism. It is materialism, trying to strip every bit of spirituality out of the human being, which is an eternal, infinite being. And that's what AI does. That's what mammonism does. That's what this stuff does, is try to take something that's infinite, eternally infinite, and contain it within the smallest possible box that it can, or container that it can. Okay? It's Satanism. This is the worshiping, the limiting, which is exactly opposite of what is being taught as or by the Christ. Okay? Look at the difference in the teachings. It's because when you limit something, okay, you have more control over it. You can determine what happens, how it happens, when it happens, what have you. When it's infinitely eternal, there's a lot less control, but yet with the right knowledge, the upbringing, the instruction, what have you, that brings in spirituality and morality, it quells the effects of these seven deadly sins, the envy and the greed and the anger and all of this stuff. Please, people, I don't know, and there's gazillions of people out here that have tried to express this, but this is what it is. And back to what I was saying, if somebody can't help you because, oh, I can't do that, too much money, can't do that, oh no, I don't have the money to do that, but yet you can better bet that they have the money, they have the means, they have the influence to further a mammonism agenda, a mammon agenda. Think about it. Look around you. Look at the people. You know, look at it. Listen to them. Listen to what they say. Are they service to self, or are they service to others? It's simple as that. So I just really needed to get that off my chest. It'll probably be negatively received, which, hey, you know, what the fuck? I hadn't existed this long, lived this long, to give up and just say, ah, well, screw it. It is what it is. It's going to be the way it's going to be. No, I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior in heart, in consciousness. And all of y'all should be as well. Warriors to fight this scarcity, this mammonism that has infected and overtaking humanity. Laugh if you will, but it's the truth. Just like the merger. This is the merger that's going on. Okay? And unless we eradicate this greed and bring forth a moral spirituality to humanity, it is going to be materialistic. It's going to be materialistic, and our progeny will not have a future. And that's not what I want. And it's so very easy for us to overcome this just by changing the way that we perceive, the way that we process the information. And do the research. Educate yourself. We need to educate ourselves to get beyond this. So this is dragged on, but I just had to get this out here. And for all of you people that are so into the greed and the materialistic things and unwilling to help other people with no strings attached, you don't understand. You never have understood. And that's exactly why you're the way that you are. That is exactly why. Because people that have a higher awareness, that understand themselves better, and have a more expanded consciousness, they know better than to perform acts like these people that that have not reached that point yet. Okay? And it's so easy to see. It's so easy to hear. All you have to do is just spend a minute observing, and you can pick out exactly who these people are. And you know what their motivation is. And it's truly sad. It truly is. I feel for their souls, because it's not going to be pretty at the end. Myself, I'm not too worried about it. I have the faith that I need. I believe in myself. I believe in a higher reason, a higher consciousness, what have you, a higher being, creator, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be taken care of. And that's another reason why I'm not just going to kick back and go, oh, hey, well, nothing I can do about it. Because that's what's happened over the course of our history, of the human species history. People are so concerned about themselves, trying to generate a scarcity so they can make more money off of something. Mammonism. The artificially intelligent money meme. And it's not only just the money, material stuff, it's the mental stuff as well. The mental stuff. Oh, don't help that person out because they're so-and-so and like this and that. Yeah. Well, there's somebody, just like the song goes, you know, you point your finger at whoever, and somebody's pointing their finger at you. What goes around comes around. Yeah, my battle has been pretty damn tough. Pretty hard, pretty difficult. But damn it, I'm not giving up. So, be prepared. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed day.